Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Let's see who we have here. See if we can get some guests here on a Saturday morning. It's me, Bobby G. Welcome to the morning show here at Eden Cafe. Yes, sirree, Bob. We're here this morning having our coffee. All of us gathered together. What in tarnation is going on with Bobby G? I'm so glad y'all joined me, but I want to know what's going on in tarnation with all you folks out there, see? It's Saturday morning, see? It's going to kind of be relaxed this morning. Going to sit back, watch your Facebook feed, see? Sit here with Bobby G for a while. What do you think this weather we've been having, huh? Holy smokes. It's just beautiful out there. I'll tell you what. I hear the machinery out there first thing this morning. They're cutting that lawn. Cutting lawns already, right? Imagine that. How about all this pollen flying around in the air, too? It looked like a snowstorm the other day. It was something else, I tell you what, right there. How is everybody this morning? I don't know. Well, I guess you tune in later on, maybe. I don't know. You know, this kind of weather reminds me of a summer I had once. Summer of 77. I swear to God, it did not rain during the day in the summer of 77. I think the rain held off till about 2 o'clock in the morning. And it would rain every night, though. It held itself off there, see. It rained between 2 and 6. And you'd get up in the morning and the heat from the day before was all gone. Now look at that. We got our first guest right there. I'm going to wave to him. Giorgio. What a great name. I'll tell you what. And Sean Connolly joined us. See that? We got the boys here this morning. I was just telling them about the summer of 77. It was beautiful. Every day was a beautiful day because the heat of the day was just vanquished from the rain every night. It would rain, but it would not rain during the day. See? And it would stay cool most days till around 12, 1 o'clock. See, you'd get some good old work done. Good morning to you there, Sean. So nice for you to join us this morning. Dennis Green just joined us. Good morning, Dennis Green. So anyways, I was thinking about the summer of 77 and how I remember that. Why I remember it. It was a bittersweet summer. It was. You guys want to hear a story? All right, I'll tell you a story. So anyways, back there in the, I don't know, it was probably the late 60s, early 70s. We were just little kids, see, in the trailer park. There were 7 of us, see. We called ourselves the Magnificent Seven, we did. We were just 6, 7 years old, too, see. But we had this crew of boys, see. We hung out with each other. My God. Eddie was one of them. He passed away fairly recently, but the rest of us, we were still around, the 6 of us. Of course, there was an 8th. There was an 8th that joined us in the latter days. See? It was one summer back there, I swear to God, it must have been late 60s, early 70s. I don't know, we were 6, 7 years old. No. You know, we had our slingshots and our BB guns, and we just played every day, especially during the summertime. After school, we'd play till Mama rang the bell, you know. Mama used to ring the bell because she didn't like yelling, you know, because all the other mothers in the trailer park, they would yell, "Come on home for dinner." No, my mama had a big old bell. She'd just go like that. You heard that bell, you better get home and eat dinner, or you ain't going to eat at all. See? Probably for another day or so. Mama fed me well. Matter of fact, she fed me too well. I was the biggest of the 7 of us boys. I was a large kid because Mama always made me eat so much. See, clean your plate up, Bobby G, she'd say. Anyways, I was kind of chubby back there in grammar school, you know. Anyways, so one day, big old moving van comes into the trailer park, see? And we all got excited because we're, first thing on our mind, we're thinking to ourselves, good morning, Rick. First thing on our mind, we saying to ourselves, holy smoke, there's some new people coming to the trailer park. So we all like ran off to our trailers and we said, Mama, there's new people here. You hear anything about them? And she said, I just know a little bit about the families there coming in. They're coming in. One of the father works for the military, so he's an Air Force guy. I was like, well, do they have any children? Do they have any children our age? Maybe they'd be like our age. We could add to our gang that we got going on there. And she says, well, I think they have a little girl. And I was like, I don't care. How old is she? 6, 7 years old, Mama said. She was like, oh, that's our age. Good morning. Good morning, Rick. So glad you joined us, telling a story about the summer of '77. Of course, this was early on. We were just 6, 7 years old, and so we all went out there and watched them unpacking all the stuff from the truck, you know what I'm saying? And there she was. She pulled up in a station wagon, see? This little girl, cute little girl, gets out of the car. But she had that short haircut, you know. She had this really short haircut because her father was in the military, see? And so we ran right up to her and I said, hello, my name's Bobby G. She says, hi, Bobby G, my name's Sandy. Sandy, her name was, see? So I said, you know, you're going to live here. You can play with us, you know. We'll show you around and everything. She wasn't even in her house yet. She just took off with us. Her mama let her make friends with us. And I tell you what, that was the first summer that we all hang out together, see, the whole gang of us. See, it was excellent because we were 7 and Sandy made 8, see. See, we always had a problem with kickball. See, the team was uneven, but now we had 4 on each team and we could play kickball with an even number of people because nobody liked to, you know, play on both teams. What do you call that when you have to forfeit one of your guys from your team to play? Because that's just not right, see. So we had 8 people to play kickball now. We didn't just play kickball. We went hunting with our BB guns. We went hunting with our slingshots. We'd go skinny dipping down there at Sutter's Pond, see. Even Sandy did. We didn't care. She was flat as you know what. She's just one of the guys, see. Every summer we'd hang out with each other. 7 years old, 8 years old, 9, every summer. 9, 10. I remember the summer that I was 11 years old. One of my daddies, see, he was trying to win my favor, see. He got me. He was a motorcycle salesperson, see. He worked down there at the Hondas down there, and he got me a CT70. It was used and all, but he got me a motorcycle. I was only like 11 years old, see. It was like a trail bike, see. And that summer when I was 11 years old, holy smoke, did we get around. Mostly Sandy and I, we were like best friends, you know what I'm saying? All those summers spending with each other. So we driving around on the CT70. That was the bike that the gas tank was underneath the seat. You remember that bike, the CT70? It had 3 gears on it, 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. No clutch. It was amazing. You didn't need no clutch. We go around on that bicycle. Man, we were all over the place. See, if we wanted to get candy or soda or something, we just drive to the store on the motorcycle. And she'd be sitting on, it had one of those big banana seats on it, a motorcycle with a big seat on it. So she could sit on the back when she put her arms around my midsection, and we just drove all over. People would be, look at those two driving around. But we were best friends by that year. Out of all 8 of us, she was my best friend. And so one day she said, Bobby G, let's go down to Sutter's Pond. And I said, okay, let's go. Because there's one thing Sandy could do better than all 7 of us. She could skip a rock across Sutter's Mill across that pond like nobody's business. She had the record. One day, it was early on, see, we were all skipping rocks, and we were all bragging about how we could get 6, 7, 8. One guy, Johnny got up to 10 times. He skipped that rock over the pond. Boom, 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 boom. We counted them. There was 10 of them. And he was all proud of that. He was like the king of Sutter's Pond. He was. And so Sandy, she was like just milling around on the beach and all. Station wagons, you remember them? 5 kids to a family. So anyways, so she's looking around for the perfect rock, see? And she found that perfect rock, and she just threw that rock across the pond. We counted it 13 times. She took the title away from Johnny. Man, he was upset that day, but she could skip a rock, that girl. So anyways, she said, let's go down to Sutter's Pond. We went down to Sutter's Pond, with the big old tire swing on there and everything. Spent many a day cooling off in that pond. But anyway, she said, I'm going to teach you how to skip a rock 13 times. I said, nobody can do that except for you, Sandy. She goes, no, Bomba G, I'm going to teach you how to do that, see. So she sat me down, she showed me how to pick out the right rock, and then she just sat me down on that log, that big old log by the pond. And we were sitting there, and she explained the whole math of the whole thing. Oh, there's math involved in skipping a rock across a pond, see. I wasn't very good at math, but she taught me the math behind skipping a rock. See, I said, Sandy, how do you know so much about math? She go, well, my daddy's he's in the Air Force, see, and I'm supposed to tell anybody. But she said, Daddy was involved with the NASA program, see, and he was involved with NASA in the Air Force, see, and he was a mathematician and all. And so he taught her how to skip a rock mathematically. And she taught me how to skip one. So she goes, give it a try. And I tried. We were there all afternoon. I just couldn't get it. I was not very athletic, see. And I just kept throwing that stone. And finally, sure enough, I got down to where I figured out how to do that 13 times. I could take over the title, see, if I could get to 14. She said, I go, this is the most fun I ever had in a day, I told her. I go, this is more fun than your birthday parties that we have every August. Her birthday party, her mama knew how to throw a birthday party. I tell you what, Sandy's mama, she could throw a birthday party. See, now, I don't know what she had against donkeys, but we played pin the tail on a donkey, where we'd stick that pin in the rear end of that donkey, and then she'd have a donkey out on the tree for us to hit like a piñata. But anyways, we had so much fun at her party. As a matter of fact, see, Sandy's favorite cake was chocolate cake. And she knew my favorite cake was orange cake, see. Orange cake. Good morning, Cindy. Kelly Gannon joined us too this morning. I'm telling a story, guys. You gotta sit there and pull up your seat there. Get yourself a cup of coffee or something. So anyways, so one day when we were having one of Sandy's parties, I seen the cake come out, and it was not a chocolate cake, it was an orange cake. Sandy asked her mama to make an orange cake because she knew it was my favorite. Now that's a best friend right there. So anyways, she goes, Bobby G, I got something to tell you. She sat me down on that log right there. She said, I ain't going to be here for my party this year. I got to go to Florida. I said, what? You going to Florida? What the hell you going to Florida for? You got your birthday coming up in August. She said, no, my daddy, he was restationed down there in Florida, down Cape Canaveral, see? They were considering him for one of the Apollo programs. They said, well, you're going to stay, right? He could go and you could stay. He could stay with me and Mama. said no, she had to go to Florida. See, she was my best friend. And anyways, so we were about this close. Our two faces right there. Just like that. She said, Bobby G, I want to give you something before I go. I said, what do you want to give me? You already showed me how to be the king of the pond over here. And she just reached over and gave me a kiss on the lips. She said, goodbye, Bobby. She gave me my first kiss. I was 11 years old. See, we used to have this game we used to play. And whenever we were playing a joke on somebody, she'd give a wink like that. She'd go, wink like that. So she just got up from that log right there, and she was about 10, 15 feet away, and she turned her head. She said, goodbye, Bobby. And she winked her eye at me. Yeah, I took my buck knife out. I carved our name in that log right there. Good morning, Rick. Rick Bedrosian just joined us. Good morning, Rick. I carved our names in that log. That's what I did. Sandy and Bobby. Took me all afternoon. So anyways, the day came when her big old truck came, loaded up her furniture once again, and she got in her station wagon. I said goodbye to her. She just drove off in that station wagon. She was in the back. You remember the Ford LTD where the back seats would flip up like that? Kind of like the seats would just pop up in the back of that Ford LTD. And the kids would sit back there in those jumper seats. I don't know what the hell they call them. She sat in that back seat with the window rolled down. And I swear to God, she just winked at me. She said, goodbye, Bobby. Well, I was angry at her daddy for a long time, taking her away from me. The years had passed, and I guess the anger kind of shifted to her. I never spoke to her again on the telephone or nothing like that. She did send me a letter once. She sent me a letter. She just said, I don't know, she was probably a year or two after she had left. She was probably 13, 14 years old. She wrote me a letter, said, I'll miss you, Bobby G. She sent me a picture of herself. She still had her short hair and all. I keep that picture in my wallet to this day. So anyways, the years had passed, and I just put her out of my mind, and I got wild as a teenager, you know what I'm saying? I got kind of rowdy. I was drinking and smoking, and I was bad. I was a bad boy as a teenager, say. I was getting my cowboy days out, and I tell you what, I think some of it was due to my anger and all, you know. See, teenage boys, they do a lot of stupid things when they got their heart broken. See? They just don't give a damn about nothing. So they think they're immortal. Imagine that. Anyways, it was the summer before my senior year. I don't know, 5-6 years had passed by and all. It was the summer of, I think it was summer of 80 or something like that. And I got home one day. I just popped in the door because us boys, we didn't really play together no more. We worked together, see. We got a job over there on Mr. Dumeroff farm, and we were haying, see. We were haying every summer. We worked our tailbones off, save up money for our cars and all. So anyways, we were haying, and I came in. I was dog tired from haying because you get up 5 o'clock in the morning and all. And I walk in the door, and Mama goes, "You're never going to believe who visited us this afternoon." Bobby G. I said, "I don't care." That's what I was like. You know, when you're 17, 18 years old, you get like all mouthy with your mother and all. "I don't care," I said to her. She goes, "Oh, you know, you're going to care about who knocked on our door this morning." I just kind of looked at her like, "Okay, tell me." She said, "Sandy Collins came by, knocked on the door this morning. She asked if you were around." I just kind of looked at her. I said, "I don't care." Sure enough, summer came. Went to high school, my last year in high school. There she was. She didn't have no short hair no more. No siree. She had that big old long ponytail. Morning, Mario. She had that big old long ponytail. She was in a skirt. And man, did she fill out. Holy smoke, she did not look like Sandy Collins no more. No siree. She was gorgeous. I got all nervous. My palms were all sweaty and all. She came up to my locker and said, "Hi, Bobby G. I came by your house to say hello. You didn't call or nothing." I just didn't know what to say to her, see. I was all nervous. I just kept looking inside my locker and all. Anyways, I was so nervous I didn't know what to say and kind of ignored her and all, so. The whole fall went like that, and then I was out raking leaves one day by the trailer, and she pulls up on her bicycle. See, all the boys in school, she was the prettiest girl in school that senior year. Girl from out of town, kind of that used to live there kind of story going on there. And she goes, "Bobby G." I was just raking my leaves, keeping my head down on the ground like that, raking the leaves. "How are you, Bobby G?" I'm good. I rake the leaves. She goes, "Jack, Happy Jack asked me to go out with him." I just looked at her and said, "I don't care." Happy Jack was one of the guys in the seven of the Magnificent Seven, see. He was called Happy Jack because he always made us laugh, see. I said, "I don't care." She tried to have a conversation with me, and I was just nervous and frustrated and angry still. And she said, "Well, have a good day, Bobby G. Good to see you." Well, she dated Happy Jack all senior year. She even went to the prom with him. But when it came time to elect the prom king and the prom queen, see, I was going out with a girl named Lucy. And every time she'd see me look at Sandy Collins, she'd grab my face and stick her tongue down my throat, so you know what I'm saying? She knew, she was jealous. And so prom came, I took Lucy, you know, and they named her prom queen, see. But guess who they named prom king? Was me, see. Bobby G. See, I'd lost a lot of weight, and I was looking pretty good after having worked every summer haying those fields, see what I'm saying? And a nice tan on. We were the prom king and queen. That was about as close as we were ever going to get to walking down the aisle. Anyways, right after high school, she married Happy Jack. She sent me an invitation to go to the wedding and all. I guess I was still angry. Anyways, I managed to get there when they were about to hop in the car, see, her and Happy Jack. She just turned her head to me, see. She gave me a wink like that. See, every time I see her every so often, you know, I might see her at the Rotary Club, or they do this turkey dinner every year down at the firehouse. And every time I see her, we just kind of catch a glimpse of each other, and she just kind of gives me a wink like that. I'll tell you what, Young love. It's better to have loved and lost than not to have loved at all. Listen to me blabbering and taking up your whole morning. Holy smokes. That's enough of that story right there. I'll tell you what's going on. Last night we had one hell of a jazz fusion group here last night. Gior was here. What great music. They had about 35 people here. Yes, Ford LTD. You remember that, Mario? I'm just taking pieces of everybody's story there, right there. Anyways, tonight we got one hell... See, we're going to play music from the 70s tonight, just like we used to listen to when we were teenagers, see? Because Don Kelly's going to be here playing music from the 70s. That 70s reunion concert with Don Kelly. They call him the Folk King, Don Kelly. Folking Don Kelly. You got to be careful when you say that. People don't mistake you for saying the other, dropping the F-bomb and all. Folking Don Kelly going to be here at 7:30. Get your tickets on Eventbrite for that 70s reunion concert. Music from the 70s. I love that stuff. Well, you guys have been something else sitting here humoring me, telling my story this morning, and you see Sandy calling you, tell her Bobby G said hello. Remember, the Eden Cafe, best little coffee house this side of paradise, where the sun always shines.